Heyo, my Planet Coaster friends, Johnny5 Alive here, and welcome back to another episode of Park Spotlight. And in today's video, we're going to be looking at Cedar Point UK, sent in by one of our Discord builders, SmithyBoy86. So stay tuned, and let's check it out. Alright, I am joined here today with Wix.
Hey!
If you guys enjoy Planet Coaster content, I highly recommend you guys check out Wix's YouTube channel. What are you at right now in subscribers?
I have 230 or something.
230, yeah. And he uploads like what, weekly? Oh, more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he Wix goes to a lot of parks around the world, and he vlogs them and stuff, and you'll see a lot of people from the community, creators from the show, in his vlogs, and they're quite fun to watch. So I highly recommend you guys go check out his YouTube channel. Let's try and get him another 100 subscribers.
Yeah, come guys.
Yeah. All right, so Cedar Point UK sent in by one of our Discord builders, and here he says, "Hey Johnny, I know you got a lot of content going, but I hope you find some time to spotlight this. Here's my first ever creation in Planet Coaster. From the moment I got the game, I always intended to make a mega park. There's multiple themed areas and coasters, so enjoy your tour. The park is paused with no guests, so you could hit play and keep the park closed. Just be prepared for a lot of unhappy staff. Link to Dropbox below for custom audio and images, and please ride Bloodstone Manor at night. Some workshop items are in the park, mainly Main Street, Alpine Village, Nemesis Station. I had to modify it for my coaster. Thanks very much. Love the channel. Keep up the great work." All right, thank you so much, Smithy Boy. Definitely a mega park, but Cedar Point UK, I feel a little bit baited because I load it up, download all the files I need, and get in here, and this does not look like Cedar Point UK to me, does it, Wick?
No, I don't even think it's a thing, right? So,
no, I mean, just the map layout alone would indicate it. We have no beaches. We don't have. I would see Top Thrill Dragster right there. You know, it's not even close. So what I'm curious to know is, why would you name it Cedar Point UK if it's not a recreation, right? It's a very specific name. Why not name it like UK's, I don't know, mega park, or something that's not using the term of something that is widely recognized, you know?
Yeah.
It's a little bit clickbaity, so I apologize to you guys who read the title and said Cedar Point UK, and you clicked on the video and you're expecting a recreation of your favorite park, and it's not at all. But the name is the name. I highly recommend, Smithy Boy, you come up with a new creative name for your creation here and update it on your workshop, as it is rather misleading, and I clicked it and wanted to feature it because I wanted to give the viewers another recreation park. However, that's okay. This park does look pretty damn phenomenal, right?
It does. It really does.
I mean, it's heavy on the part count. I'm getting 12 FPS on pause, so we're gonna have to bear with me here today, guys. But we should still get a rather enjoyable experience. So let's get right on into it. All right, everybody. So here we are. Let's take an overarching look at this park. It is quite huge. Some pretty gnarly looking coasters, some really nice themed areas. So I think we're still going to get an interesting experience. And what's even more interesting, it looks like we have a Nemesis, but it's not the Nemesis, it's the Nemesis Extinction. So you can tell he's got UK inspiration all over this, and even some stuff from Alton Towers. And what's funny, I was like, is this his rendition of the Top Thrill Dragsters? And it's Top Gear. So I guess there's hints of inspiration, so I still think you're gonna get, you're gonna see some things that you're like, oh, I think he was inspired by this. Even this boarding station here for the log flume is really nice.
That's really neat.
Yeah, realistic looking stuff throughout this park. So we're not getting an exact one-to-one recreation here, but I think there's going to be a lot of stuff here that's inspired by. Wick certainly knows a lot of UK parks, right? So
yeah, I've been at them.
Maybe you'll spot a few things and you can point them out for us here today. All right, guys. So here we are at the park entrance. Let's step right on in here and get going with the park spotlight. Kind of like the coaster track art there. It's quite nice.
Yeah, that's definitely from Alton Towers. They have that at the entrance.
Okay. Yeah, so it's definitely like a hybrid of inspired parks, right?
Yeah, I kind of like it. It's kind of his own touch to United Kingdom, British theme park.
That's a nice look right there.
Oh yeah.
And you said these were Rohana's frogs? I wonder if they have water squirting out. There we go. That's great.
They have that fountain at Alton Towers too, a frog fountain.
Oh, really? So why didn't he name it Alton Towers instead of Cedar Point?
Yeah, maybe he doesn't. Yeah,
it's leaning towards more of one than the other, right? Great Main Street. He did say there were items that he used from the workshop. We are seeing a lot of that here, but I think you know, building mega parks with your own stuff is nearly impossible. Some of you guys saw last week's spotlight where we were looking at Ethereal. The creator took 1.6 years to finish it and hand built everything himself. When you're looking at a mega park at this size, it's going to take you a year and a half building everything yourself. So for me, you know, park spotlight should always be a mixture of the workshop or your own, unless you're someone like Pixel West, right? Of course. So some people are just monsters in this community. But yeah, I think using the workshop is definitely beneficial here because it still shows your design ability to create compositions and layouts. That in and of itself is a lot of work. As we're seeing here, you can't just download layouts like this from the workshop and, you know, have it all come together. You have to hand place everything, and I think just shopping the workshop alone for things like this and trying to figure out exactly what it is that you need and where you want to place it can take hours and hours and hours, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I remember when I was doing Gingerbread Town in Yetiland, I was trying to find good gingerbread stuff to decorate an area, candy houses and things like that. And just getting, spent 5 hours downloading things, and then you go through and look at them all, and then you delete all the ones you don't want to use, and then you've narrowed it down to the ones you want to use, and then now you got to figure out how you're going to use them, and then you only end up using like a third of them, right?
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah.
So I think just building parks using the workshop is still very challenging, and I don't take anything away from people that do it that way because you can still create some amazing parks. And this is a very nice pirate area here.
Yeah, it has some great views too.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
This looks awesome.
All right, so do you want to ride the coasters as we get to them? Because we got one right here. I'm not sure how we
try this one.
I'm not sure how we get in here. Is this part of the pirate? I guess it is, right? There seems to be queues everywhere.
Maybe the station is there, right in front.
Look at that queue. Holy moly. Oh. That would be the entrance. Yeah. Atlantis. Okay.
Oh, look at that sign.
I know. The
nice.
Made out of the spheres?
Yeah.
Well, the end looks backwards, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It's throwing me off. Like, is it backwards? Okay, so Atlantis. This looks cool. Let's see what we have here. Floorless Werewolf Corkscrew, 6.11 Excitement, 4.33 Fear, and a 2.31 Nausea. There's the rest of the stats. Okay. All right. What did you think, Wix?
I like the theming on it, but I think it was a little bit jerky at some points.
I agree. I felt like... and how was your frame rate? I think on my end it was pretty bad. I think it was getting down to like 8. So it looked laggy on my screen. I imagine you were experiencing the same. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Yeah, they definitely jerky. I feel like some of the transitions were a little bit too sharp. You know what I mean? Like this could have been smoothed out a little bit. Some of the turns, and it didn't look like they were completely smoothed out. Transitions could have been a little bit better for me.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I got clotheslined by a bunch of trees.
Yeah, there were a lot of ivy hanging you got in your head.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, theming's good. I like the colors, the visuals, and all that. So pretty solid overall. This log flume looks really interesting. I like the boarding station on it.
Yeah, that looks really, really neat.
Where's the entrance? I guess it's back here, maybe?
Such a shame we didn't get a real log flume station or like a rapid station that were round.
Yeah, that's a good point. But the community has done a fantastic job at providing some like this for us. Yes. And they work very well, so quite like it. Should give this log flume a go.
Looks nice.
Mm-hmm. I'll go 2 times speed for the log flumes. There's a look at the stats, everybody. All right. I'll go first on this one. Holy crap, I just noticed these.
Yeah, I saw them too.
What? Made out of Christmas lights? That is freaking phenomenal.
Uh-huh.
I love those. They probably glow at night as well. I love the reflection of those on the water there.
Yeah.
Those are great little like lake lamps.
That's super cool.
Yeah. I wonder if he made those or if those are workshop items. Those are brilliant.
They really are.
So for me, the log flume, I kind of wish it was kind of sunken in more, you know, hidden the tracks and immersed us through the swamp more. I like seeing it when people kind of integrate it and bury it into the terrain a bit more. And we could have seen that going through here. And in terms of a kind of pirate-themed log flume, it didn't really give me that pirate feel much at all, really. We really went on a jungle exploration, which is fine, but we have this wonderful pirate area, and I think just having the river rapids explore a little bit of that, some of the dock areas in the village a little bit more would have been cool, and definitely would have sunk it in a bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you what you're saying. I wish on the part where on the long side there that there were a little bit more animatronic stuff going on or something.
Exactly. Yeah, more pirate theming just overall. There's so many. We saw this from the, well, I guess you guys will see it in our next upcoming pirate blueprint spotlight, or maybe I released it already. I don't know. The most recent before or after pirate blueprint spotlight, someone did a pirate show, and it made us realize that pirate stuff actually has one of the most animatronics in the game. And you could do a lot with it, so you could definitely incorporate that into your water rides a little bit more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But not too bad. Okay, let's go over here. This is a very colorful, playful area. Kind of a little bit of a fantasy vibe. Look at this. Cedar Point made out of flowers. Wow.
That is pretty.
Mm-hmm. Holy moly. Yeah, I like these buildings. And we have a little coaster over here, spinning coaster. Alright, Spinball Mayhem. Spinball, I like the name on there. Okay, here's a look at the stats, everyone. What was that?
I was just about to say, it reminds me of the spinning coaster also from Alton Towers a little bit. It's
cool.
called Spinball Wizard or something.
Alright, let's give this a test. Okay. All right. What do you think, Wix?
I liked it. I thought it was. I liked the layout of it. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, layout track design's pretty good. I would have liked to see a little bit more control of the locking mechanism.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe as it's spinning as it's coming up here, and then locks it sideways as we go down. But I think the vibrance, I like the bouncy balls about and the colors of the track. Aesthetically, it looks pretty cool. It's fun.
It does.
All right.
Yeah, I like it.
We have a river rapids down here, a little western themed area. Better pause it again. So what do we have here? Copper Canyon. Love that sign.
Yeah, that is really cool looking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, what's... That's awesome.
That is one of the coolest signs I've seen for the river rapids for sure.
Definitely. Gotta take some notes there. It looks like it fell off the ride. It's just splashing down there.
Yeah.
And there's a runaway mine train as well. Wait, how do we get... Oh, this is the river rapids. Okay, let's check out the river rapids, then we'll go on the mine train. There's It's so laggy, it's hard to control. Try to go through the queue, but it's pretty painful. Let's check this out. Wait, did I just...
I think you just jumped the queue.
Oops. What happened? Oh, I should... Okay, I see. Yeah, another great boarding station for this guy. Let's take a quick peek at the stats here. There they are, everybody. I gotta say, much better than the log flume in terms of immersion. And what's interesting, I didn't realize this, but based off of the color you color this, it made it look swampy, and I actually quite like that. It made the water look green, right?
Yeah, I actually thought he put something into the water to get it that color.
That's what I was thinking, and then I'm like, wait, that's just the color of the log flume. I guess I've never seen somebody color it green before to get that effect. Most people, I guess, go with blue, and there you go. That's actually interesting if you're trying to make a swampy area. Love the way you went through the canyon runner here, and this cave looked pretty darn cool as well.
Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah, again, would have liked to see a little bit more animatronics, but I think overall your River Rapids should kind of be more of a scenic, enjoyable experience, and I think you did a really good job of it there. So I feel like you nailed it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's jump over to the Canyon Runner. It looked really cool based off the terraforming and rock work that we saw in the River Rapids. All right, here's a look at the stats, everybody. And let's jump on it. All right, what'd you think, Wix?
I kind of like this coaster. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, it's
for a mine train coaster.
Had some really good drops, specifically this one, right? Yeah, I liked it.
There were a little bit of a section though where I felt like it could have maybe got some more smoothing. I think it was inside the mountain or cave.
Right. Yeah, for me, aesthetically, I think there could have been a little bit more mine shafts holding it up. It did feel like you kind of just tunneled through the terrain with your track, and that's how we get those perfect circles. I always like to see when someone does that, they go in, use the push tool and open it up a little bit more, then, you know, duplicate some boards around and a couple lanterns and things like that. And, you know, it's kind of the same feedback throughout all the rides so far, is just little bits of extra detail to push the rides that much further. That leads me to kind of my overall feedback for people making mega parks. For both the creator Smithy Boy and anyone else trying to do these things. Sometimes I think it's the saying less is more, right? It's cool to see these mega parks, but I think even, you know, there's a lot of room to cover with these maps, and I don't think you need to use it end to end. And if you kind of reduce it to, say, this size, it gives you a lot more time to spend the extra details on some of these rides. And it's like that saying is, the last 10% is 90% of the work. When you have so much that you want to do, what ends up happening is each of the rides miss out on that last 10%. And for me, I would have much rather have a tightened, detailed experience on a smaller park than a big park and be missing that last 10% on some of the attractions, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But overall, I think it's very solid. Everything we're seeing, compositions. I think the important part is to focus on the rides themselves, though, right?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, look at this! Look at these rock walls. They're custom.
Oh wow, you're right.
That looked super neat walking in there with those.
And I like the terrain as you're coming through here. You got like this wobbly graveyard. It's really cool looking.
It is.
I think this might have been the dark ride he was talking about that we're supposed to go in at nighttime here. That is such a cool landscape. Wait, is this this is not a queue, is it? It's just a really interesting walkway.
Okay.
All right. Whoa.
That's spooky.
This is a very interesting layout. Okay, we have a huntsman. It's been a while since I read one of these.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, there's a look at the stats, everyone. All right, very cool. Some pretty good effects in there, and that freaking skull wall, that is very expensive.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Oh my goodness. That's
Wow.
a little overkill. Luckily it didn't go through it the whole ride, though. Then we know where our FPS is coming from. Yeah, it's a pretty solid dark ride. What'd you think?
Yeah, I really liked it. It was spooky and dark, and there were a lot of mist.
Yeah, I think the one confusing part for me is that it didn't quite make sense whether we were in the mansion or not at the mansion at times. You know, like when we're outside, were we actually outside or were we inside? You know what I mean? It felt a little bit strange. I would have used star panels or opened it up to the actual exterior of the park, something like that. Because like we're in the basement, but you know, there's all this overgrown foliage and trees growing down here. It didn't really make a lot of sense. But aesthetically, like animatronics and stuff, it definitely went over the top with the spooky DLC.
Oh yeah, it did.
I like the front at night here. Let's take a quick look at the whole park at night. Really well lit.
Mm-hmm.
Still feel like we got a long ways to go. We recording already says 45 minutes. I think this is one of my longer spotlights in a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, the Maverick.
Is this neat?
Umbrella
Corporation. That's Resident Evil, isn't it?
Yeah. But Maverick was Cedar Point, wasn't it? The coaster?
I think it is, yeah.
It's just a ride skin. Interesting. Oh, that's cool. Oh, losing the computer.
Yeah, I was thinking about the FPS. I mean, those rock walls he made all around.
The skull walls as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the park detailing is where it gets you, right? Just custom fences and custom gardens and rocks, and when you put that many trees in as well. So you got a piece of the Nemesis here. Let's go on down.
That's cool.
Yeah. The Forge. Alright, so here we have the Nemesis Extinction. You got a bit of a problem there, unless that's just aesthetics. Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I've seen this boarding station from the Alton Towers Nemesis Spotlight that I did. The exact same one. I think he reused it.
Yeah, he might have.
Alright. A new take on the Nemesis. A Nemesis Extinction. Here's like the stats, everyone. And we got a 4-seater rival. Boom, there it is. What'd you think, Wix?
I liked it. I mean, I really liked the Nemesis at Alton Towers, and the layout is quite the same actually.
Similar, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's the strongest attraction thus far in the park. However, correct me if I'm wrong. There's so many trim breaks coming through here, right? We got some here, and then right about here again. And I thought, like, okay, I get why you did that, but at the same time, I thought, well, why not just bring the lift to here?
Yeah.
That would fix your problem, because we go all the way up that long lift and then just trim it all down. But I see that he would have had way too much speed going into these first corkscrews. It would have been a little bit jarring. So he trimmed it properly, but I think you could have just deleted this and then brought it back and been done with it. But good control of the coaster overall.
Yeah, for sure. Very nice.
And there's the photo booth for the Nemesis. Oh. I think I downloaded some... I don't know. I thought he had images of actual guests somewhere. I want to see if I can find them at some point. Okay. We have a little bit of a sci-fi area here. Hey. This air. Okay, what's the coaster right next to the end Nemesis in Alton Towers?
That's Galactica.
Galactica. Isn't this kind of feel or resemble Galactica a little bit?
Yeah.
I see the inspiration there.
I think they had a coaster before in one of the parks that was called Air. I don't know if it was Galactica before or after.
Huh. Let's check it out. There's a look at the stats, everybody, and let's get on this. Very awesome. What's interesting is this actually is the same layout as Galactica. And while we were on the lift, I looked at the Wikipedia, and you were right, Wix. It was called Air from 2002 to 2015. And then they called it Galactica in 2016. Air was the first flying coaster manufactured by Bolliger and Mabillard. I've seen this similar recreation. I did a spotlight which was Nemesis and Galactica together, and that was the whole park. And then I watched some videos on it, and this exact spot here where it flips you on your head and goes all the way around, it's almost the exact same. And then as well as coming through here, I think it's actually a pretty close recreation.
Yeah, I did get to try it when I was there, but the layout looks pretty similar.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely seeing a lot of Alton Towers inspiration here, probably more than Cedar Point. Oddly enough. Okay, how do we get back through? Oh, we're just gonna cut through here. And look at that freaking coaster.
Wow.
Beautiful little fantasy village here. Matterhorn.
Nice sign.
Ho ho!
That looks crazy.
That is one crazy left. Broken down! No! Alright, well, we can look at this while we wait. So we got a Giga Invincible coaster, 6.30 excitement, 4.61 fear, 1.43 nausea. Look at these stats. Almost 2,000 meters in length and a max speed of 95 miles an hour. Wow. This should be pretty exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to that 95 miles an hour, we're going to get about 5 frames a second. Might not feel like we're going that fast. All right, Wix, what'd you think?
It was pretty cool. I mean, it was smooth compared to the speed it has.
Yeah,
I like that.
Definitely. Very exhilarating.
Mm-hmm.
Hooey.
That drop.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Definitely excellent. Okay, did we ride this guy? Okay, we did. So we're making our way through it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last section we got to do right here. So let's go over this big pier here. And, yeah, one thing you ought to watch on your coasters is ride them again once you've was built. I think I hit about 2 or 3 trees on that ride.
Yeah.
Hey, I recognize this.
Yeah, I do too.
What's this one from?
It's Oblivion from Alton Towers.
There we go.
I saw he called it something else too. Oblivion regenerated or something.
Well, yeah, you might want to say Alton Tower inspired park in your title instead of Cedar Point. All right, I will cut to it when it's fixed. Actually, let's look at the stats real quick. There it is, everybody. And of course, it's a dive coaster. Boom, and there it is. Bit of a delay there at the lift hill. Not sure what was up with that, but definitely love that first drop.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oddly enough, I think his strongest coasters have been the one that are inspired by so far.
Yeah,
and
did
this
a good job though.
Mm-hmm. This Avatar tree, didn't Red Dragon make this? I remember this from my ride spotlight. It was a log flume. Red Dragon made a Avatar log flume. It's like a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we still have this guy to go on, and that would be the last coaster. And this one's called Galactica, oddly enough. That's hilarious. Okay.
Right.
There's a look at the stats, everyone, and let's get on it. All right, what'd you think, Wix?
It was okay. I mean, it's not his best coaster in the park, but it was decent.
I quite liked it, actually. I something about that first drop that eased, it flipped us upside down and went slowly and then dropped us. And I think it might just be that coaster in particular, or the perspective that I chose. It makes it feel a little bit more awesome, you know what I mean? And coming through here, aesthetically, it looked really cool. And I like the building as well. Yeah, I don't know. I actually really enjoyed that one.
I felt some places, but maybe it's the angle we were seeing it from.
Yeah.
I thought some places seemed jerky.
Yeah, that angle can be misleading, and that coaster with Chase always particularly looks a little bit more awesome. So
Yeah.
it might be misleading. So, last but not least, here we go. It's our new version of what's the one I'm thinking of?
The dragster? Or,
The dragster, yeah, Top Thrill Dragster,
Mhm.
but extended. Has a lot more going on to it than Top Thrill does. But this one's called Top Gear, and look at all these freaking cars. Formula.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Really
I love
like this area.
Yeah, me too. Definitely. That's beautiful.
Very cool. Mm-hmm.
The spotlights and the big tire. It's great. Love the building.
Yeah.
All right. This one's not tested. I'll check the stats after we ride it. Well, let's do it. All right, for me, I wish he used the Sprint 500 for this one with the actual, what do you call it? The locking launch or whatever it is. Yeah, I would have liked to seen that in there. And you got to watch those trees again. We hit a few around here, I think it was. But beautiful theming. I think by far the best out of all the coasters here in terms of aesthetics. What do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. I really, really love this area. It's
Yeah, what do you think of the park overall?
I like the park. It's super themed. I mean, it's a lot of coasters, and it looks like he put a lot of effort into this, and you can see that nonetheless. Even though a lot of it is inspired by British parks, if they are, I guess.
Yeah.
I assume they are.
Yeah, and for me, it definitely felt more inspired by Alton Towers than it did Cedar Point, right? And
oh yeah, for sure.
and the fact that he named it Cedar Point is a little bit odd to me. And I guess the thing that struggles here is this is from a builder, and for a builder, I think this is great work. Doing the layout, the composition, I talked about this earlier when we were checking out this pirate area. It does take a lot of skill and effort to place these blueprints and make a good layout, to make a good park, even if the workshop was used. However, I cannot determine what was actually made by him. And things, let's just say he did make the Nemesis. I do know someone else made this Nemesis station, and we have seen recreations of the Nemesis and the Galactica as well in previous spotlights and even Alton Tower park spotlights that I've featured. So he kind of had a reference from the workshop available as well as the pieces. I'm assuming if you download the park to take this out, then you're going to look at the coaster as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how much of it is actually original and created by the creator himself? That's really hard to determine. And that's where it gets really hard to, when we look at promotions and things, I have a hard time judging people's parks unless I know they made everything in terms of, because you could spend a year and a half on one park and it just shows all your building skills in one file in one creation. And here, I don't know if that's reflected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So, yeah, I got mixed feelings about this one. However, layout-wise, theming-wise, there's a lot going on, and I think it was a pretty darn good spotlight overall. If I were to give any advice to Smithy Boy, would be to shoot for a smaller park and do, you know, come up with your own original creations, original ideas. Try not to, I mean, it's always good to have inspiration, but use that inspiration to come up with something new, or make it like, you know, 70% your own, and use 30% reference and inspiration, and then push that last 10% that we're looking for on your details. Less coasters, more originality, and more condensed, and keep it all to your own. Don't try not to use the workshop as much unless there's something that works really well with what you are building, right?
Yeah, true.
But very strong park overall. I mean, that was a big episode. My recording says an hour and 17 minutes. I don't know what it gets trimmed down to, but definitely a jam-packed episode with tons of detail and tons of rides. So really good job there, Smithy Boy 86. And that's going to do it for this episode of Park Spotlight, everybody. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for more daily Planet Coaster videos, as well as go over to Wix's channel. Link is down in the description below, and drop him a subscribe. And,
yeah, man.
There you go. Thank you so much for joining me today, Wix.
You are welcome, Johnny.
And thank you guys for watching. Hope you all have a fantastic day, and we will see you in the next video. Bye now.
Bye.